Today we're going to compare two of the most popular pink gemstones, morganite and pink sapphire. While sapphires have been around for centuries, morganite is kind of interesting because it was only discovered in the early 1900s. And it actually gets its name from J.P. Morgan, the famous American banker who was actually a very popular gem and mineral collector and enthusiast. And he just happened to be friends with George Kunz, who was also a famous gemologist who worked a lot with Tiffany and Company. And when Kunz discovered morganite, he actually named it after his friend. If you're considering a pink gemstone and trying to decide between these two, here are some things for you to consider. Now, when it comes to colored gemstones, you're going to hear me say a lot that color is definitely the most important value factor. And when it comes to pink sapphire, it's definitely a little bit ahead in that department. Pink sapphire is corundum, which actually makes it the same as ruby. The only thing that sets ruby and pink sapphire apart is the saturation of their color, whereas ruby, of course, has to be a true red. The great thing about pink sapphire is that you just have such a huge variety of hues, tones, and saturations. You can have a vibrant, saturated hot pink that's almost red, and you go all the way to a lighter, more watercolory tone. And those ones are definitely less valuable, less sought after, but you also have just a huge variety. So you can also have orangish pink, like a very valuable Padparadscha sapphire, all the way to a purplish pink. Now, speaking of those lighter watercolor tones, that's generally where we find the range for morganite. It's very difficult to find a very strongly saturated pink morganite, and they definitely live in more of those kind of lighter, watery, colory tones. And they can definitely have a lot of yellow or orange in them as well, which gives them kind of a peachy pink color, which can also be very pretty. And then they can have more of a true kind of blue undertone pink. Because these stones tend to be less saturated with those lighter color tones, I think that's why they became kind of, massively popular in the last few years, because that pastel pink, millennial pink was so big and people were really interested in pink gems. Now, because they do have those lighter colors and less saturation, which is generally what we're looking for in a very high value colored gemstone, their prices tend to be extremely reasonable. So you are in luck if you just love those kind of peachy pink and lighter color tones. Just happens to be the color of the year from Pantone for 2024, that peach fuzz pink. If you love those colors, you're in luck with morganite because you can definitely get one at a great price. The other interesting thing to note is that morganite is part of the beryl family, which also includes green emerald, of course, and blue aquamarine. But the pink beryl, the morganite, is definitely a lot less rare, and that definitely also contributes to their lower price point. The pink beryl does get its color from manganese, unlike the corundum, the pink sapphire, which actually gets its beautiful pink color from the rare element of chromium, just like ruby, and that's also one of the things that's contributing to its rarity and its higher price point. Both of these stones do generally get heat treated to improve their color, and with morganite it can often be to eliminate some of that yellow and orangish tone in order to make the morganite a little bit more of a truer, more saturated pink. And with pink sapphire it can be similar and definitely to improve the intensity of the color. Now again, when it comes to rarity, the pink sapphire is definitely more rare than the pink beryl, the morganite. But the other thing when it comes to sapphires is that they generally have more inclusions. So it's going to be more difficult and more expensive to find those larger carat weights in the pink sapphire that are eye clean and have less inclusions, especially around the table so that you don't see them face up. One of the best traits with morganite, on the other hand, is that they do grow in very large and eye-clean crystals, very similar to aquamarine. And so that's why we see them often in cocktail ring designs, especially, and even large pendants, because it's really easy to find a larger carat weight in a beautiful, inclusion-free, eye-clean stone. Now, when it comes to hardness, sapphire is definitely an excellent stone to wear in a ring and an engagement ring, and perfect for daily wear. It's a 9 on the Mohs hardness scale, which again makes it a perfect gem other than diamond to wear in one of those types of pieces. Morganite, on the other hand, again, as a beryl, is around a 7 on the Mohs hardness scale, so it's definitely a little bit softer. You can still wear it in a ring and have daily wear, but it's something you're going to need to be a little bit more cognizant of. And of course, anytime you're wearing jewelry, you should always take it off while sleeping, while working around the house, going for walks, exercising, all of those things. You'll always want to be careful, and with morganite, you're definitely going to be a little bit more mindful. Overall, these are two very different gemstones. With Pink Sapphire, you're getting that wide variety of beautiful pink colors, different tones and saturations, with of course the possibility of having that beautiful, bright, vivid pink color, and the rarity that goes along with having a sapphire. On the other hand, if you just happen to love that lighter kind of pastel pink tone and those watercolor shades, Morganite could be ideal for you, especially if you love that peachy pink color, or if you just want the look of a Padparadscha sapphire and you want to get more bang for your buck. That's definitely going to happen with a Morganite, especially in terms of carat weight. Thank you so much for watching, and to learn more about gems and jewelry, be sure to visit us on our main page at winstongemsandjewellery.com.